Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is pretty simple. Cut through the noise on complex topics and give you the core knowledge you need, fast. And today, we're diving into something really foundational in software development. It's a key piece of the puzzle. When you use an app, maybe shopping online or checking your bank balance, all that information management seems incredibly complex, right? Well, turns out there's a technology that makes it, well, a whole lot simpler for the people building these apps. We're talking about Spring Data JPA.
Exactly. And that's our goal today, really, to pull out the essentials on Spring Data JPA. We want to cover what it is, why it's so important, and the impact it has. So whether you're, deep in the code already or just curious about how apps work, you'll get the gist. We'll look at the what, the how, the why developers use it, the problems it solves, and, crucially, why it's such a big deal right now in 2025.
Okay, great. So let's kick things off. At its core, what is Spring Data JPA?
Okay.
For someone maybe hearing the term for the first time.
Right.
Part of the bigger Spring world, the Spring ecosystem. And its main job is to streamline how Java applications talk to databases. It builds on something called a Java Persistence API, or JPA. That's kind of the standard rulebook for managing data in Java. Spring Data JPA just makes using that rulebook much, much easier. It hides a lot of the repetitive stuff involved in saving data, finding it, updating it, deleting it. Think databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Think of it like maybe a really helpful assistant for a developer. Instead of the developer writing out super detailed instructions every single time they need to interact with the database, like storing a user's profile or fetching product details, this assistant, Spring Data JPA, handles most of that complex communication.
Yes.
Without it, yeah, you'd be writing pages and pages of pretty tedious code for basic data tasks.
Right, like an automated inventory manager almost, if the
Yeah.
data's your inventory.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. You just tell the manager, add this or find that, and it does the complex filing and retrieving.
So what makes this assistant so good at its job? What are the key features?
Well, first off, simplified database access. That's the big one. It gives you pre-built methods for common tasks, saves writing tons of manual database commands.
Okay.
Second, it supports lots of different databases, so you can often switch from, say, MySQL to PostgreSQL without rewriting your data code. Huge flexibility there.
Ah, nice.
Then there's the tight integration with Spring, especially Spring Boot. It just slots right in, making it super fast to get a full application running. It also allows for custom queries. If you need something really specific from the database, you can usually define that pretty easily without becoming a deep SQL expert.
Right.
And maybe the most intuitive part, especially for beginners, is the object-oriented approach. It lets you work with database data as if it were just regular Java objects. So instead of thinking about rows and columns in a customer's table, you just work with a customer object in your code. Much easier to grasp.
Yeah, that object approach sounds way more natural than juggling tables and SQL directly. Okay, so it simplifies things, but how does it actually do that? What's happening behind the scenes? How does it act as that bridge?
Right. Yeah, the mechanics are pretty clever. Let's break it down. The first key idea is object relational mapping, or ORM. This is fundamental. So databases store data in tables, like spreadsheets, right? ORM, which JPA provides and Spring Data JPA uses, maps each table row to a Java object. A row in your products table becomes a product object in your Java code.
Okay, so it translates between the table world and the object world.
Precisely. Makes database stuff feel like normal Java programming. Then you have repositories. This is where developers feel the magic most directly. Think of a repository as like a dedicated toolkit for one type of data, a product repository, for example. It automatically gives you methods like save product, find product by ID, delete product.
Without you writing the actual database commands for those.
Exactly. Spring Data JPA generates the necessary SQL or whatever the database language is behind the scenes. You just use the simple Java method.
Okay, wow.
And it gets smarter. There's automatic query handling. Let's say you need something specific, like find all products cheaper than $20. Often, you can just declare a method in your repository called find by price less than 20.
Seriously, just by the name.
Yeah, pretty much. Spring Data JPA analyzes the method name, figures out the query you need, and runs it. It's incredibly powerful for reducing boilerplate code. And finally, the configuration, especially with Spring Boot, is often automatic. You add a few lines in a config file saying, here's my database, and boom, Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA handle the connection setup, transaction management, all that plumbing.
Okay, it really sounds like it strips away layers and layers of complexity, which naturally leads to the question, why did this become so popular? What problems was it solving? What was the pain like before?
Oh, the pain was significant. You hit the nail on the head. Before tools like JPA and Spring Data JPA became mainstream, developers wrote so much complex database code. Every little interaction, every save, fetch, update meant writing raw SQL or similar database commands.
Tedious, I imagine.
Incredibly tedious and incredibly error-prone. Typos in SQL, forgetting to close connections, managing transactions manually, it was a minefield and super time-consuming. And then there was tight coupling. The database logic, the SQL queries, the connection handling was often tangled up right inside the main application code.
Which means changing anything database-related was a nightmare.
A total nightmare. Want to switch from Oracle to MySQL? Good luck. You might have to rewrite huge chunks of your app. It made systems brittle and hard to maintain or reuse code.
Yeah.
Plus, the learning curve for beginners was steep. You had to learn Java and become proficient in SQL and understand database design and JDBC complexities all at once. It was a lot just to get started.
Right, it sounds like a perfect storm of complexity and potential for errors. So Spring Data JPA swooped in and fixed all that.
Pretty much, yeah. It tackles those pain points directly. It automates the repetitive database tasks, freeing up developers. It decouples the data access logic using repositories and ORM, making apps flexible. It drastically simplifies things for newcomers. And by providing a standard way of doing things, it promotes consistency, which is huge for team projects and long-term maintenance. It fundamentally changes the focus from how to talk to the database to what data you actually need.
That's a huge shift. It means faster development, right?
Yeah.
Features like user sign-up or product listings can be built much quicker.
Absolutely. Minutes or hours, not days. Fewer bugs, too, because you're relying on well-tested library code instead of hand-rolled SQL for common stuff.
And it makes testing easier, I suppose. You can swap out databases more easily.
Exactly. Easier testing, better scalability.
Cool.
The benefits ripple outwards.
Okay, that makes total sense why it took off. But let's talk about now. 2025. Tech moves fast. Why is Spring Data JPA still so critical today? What makes it relevant in the current landscape?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's arguably more important now. A huge factor is the rise of cloud computing and microservices. Modern apps are often built as these collections of small, independent services. Each microservice might manage its own data. Spring Data JPA is perfect for that. It gives each service a simple, efficient way to handle its database needs.
So it fits that distributed model well.
Oh, perfectly. And it works seamlessly with cloud databases on platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. Super important for modern deployments. Then there's the constant demand for speed. Businesses need to iterate and launch features faster than ever. Spring Data JPA is a massive productivity booster. A startup building a new fintech app, for example, can get its secure data storage up and running incredibly quickly.
Right, time to market is everything.
It really is. And closely related is scalability and performance. Apps today might serve millions of users. They need efficient database interaction. Spring Data JPA helps optimize queries and works well with high-performance databases, keeping things snappy even under heavy load. Think e-commerce sites during huge sales events.
Okay, makes sense.
All this translates directly to developer productivity and jobs. Developers are more effective, build more, faster. So skills in Spring and Spring Data JPA are in really high demand. Companies doing anything serious with Java on the back end, from startups to giants like Netflix or Amazon, are using these technologies.
So it's a valuable skill to have.
Definitely. And it keeps evolving. It supports modern tech trends, integrating with real-time data streams, event-driven systems, even providing the data backbone for AI applications, like feeding user preferences to a recommendation engine.
It really sounds like it's woven into the fabric of modern software. Can you give a few more concrete examples? Where might we unknowingly encounter it?
Oh, absolutely. You interact with it constantly. E-commerce sites like Amazon, they rely heavily on similar patterns, possibly Spring Data JPA itself or related tech, to manage that massive product catalog, handle searches instantly, and process orders reliably. Streaming services like Netflix, they have a huge microservices architecture. Spring Data JPA is ideal for managing user accounts, watch history, recommendations across all those distributed services. Even a small startup, maybe building a fitness tracking app, they can use Spring Data JPA to easily store workout logs and user profiles, and it scales with them as their user base grows.
Right.
And in finance, banks use it for managing high-volume, secure transaction data. It provides reliability and helps meet compliance requirements without building everything from scratch.
It's everywhere, really. Okay. I'm convinced this sounds incredibly useful. For someone listening now, maybe a student or someone looking to switch careers who's thinking, okay, I want to learn this. What's the path? How do you get started?
It's definitely achievable. First things first, you need a handle on basic Java. You don't need to be a guru, but understanding objects, classes, methods of the fundamentals is key. Plenty of free resources online, Codecademy, Oracle's own tutorials are good places.
Right, Java first.
Yep. Then, since Spring Data JPA lives in the Spring world, you'll want to explore Spring Boot. It's the standard way to build Spring applications quickly. Again, the official Spring website, spring.io, has great guides. Baildung is another fantastic resource for tutorials.
Okay, Spring Boot next.
Then, start small. This is crucial. Don't try building Facebook on day one. Build a simple to-do list app or a basic blog or maybe a personal contact manager, something where you can practice the core operations. Saving data, finding it, updating it, deleting it.
Makes sense. Practical application.
Exactly. And to make setup easy, use the Spring Initializer. It's a web tool at start.spring.io. You just tick some boxes. I need web, I need JPA, I need my database driver, and it generates a ready-to-code project for you. Takes seconds.
Oh, that's handy.
It's brilliant. And finally, don't be afraid to join the community. Ask questions on Stack Overflow, check out the Spring subreddits, see how others solve problems. You learn a ton that way.
Great advice. Sounds
Yeah.
like a clear roadmap. So if we were to boil this whole deep dive down, what's the main takeaway?
The main takeaway. I'd say Spring Data JPA is a true game changer for building applications that rely on databases. It makes the whole process faster, simpler, and much more reliable. It directly tackles those old headaches of complex SQL, brittle code, and slow development cycles. And its importance is only increasing, with the cloud, microservices, and this constant need for speed in the industry.
Yeah. And for anyone listening, it really lowers the barrier to entry for working with databases in a professional way. It opens up a lot of doors to interesting projects and, frankly, good job opportunities in tech. So here's something to think about. Next time you're browsing online, ordering food, streaming a movie, just pause for a second. Consider those invisible layers, that efficient data management happening behind the screen, likely powered by tools very much like Spring Data JPA. How does knowing a bit more about that hidden machinery change how you see the digital world you interact with every single day?